Hey y'all, we are here. Welcome to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James. I am here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. We'll see. So, joining us today is my girl Mrs. Best, who will be off camera. Y'all, I had to drag her up here, so we wasn't prepared to do this at all. So she is here. Say what's up to her.
Hello. I'm going to fix the title of my name because for whatever reason it says Happy Holidays.
Well, here we are. But before we begin, we want you guys to like, comment, and subscribe to both channels. Make sure you like our content if you don't do anything else, because that helps us get noticed around the YouTube streets. We are both building up our channels, and I am trying to make part of YouTube, you guys. So share the video, like it, comment, subscribe, tell a friend. We are here. So today we're going to do another unpopular opinion. This is going to be number 2. If you missed out on number 1, I actually did an unpopular opinion about Mama June and where the money was, because right now Honey Boo Boo, who is also known as Alana Thompson, does not have any money to go off to college. And we were in our feelings about that. So I figure, since this just broke wind to me this morning, Latoscha Scott versus Mona Scott Young for copyright infringement of the name Xscape. And I said, whoa, 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 whoa. So we're going to do an unpopular opinion about that. Both me and Mrs. Best are going to give our opinions, because we did recap the show Queens of R&B, which featured not only Xscape but also SWV on Mrs. Best's channel. You can check out our live recaps just to go ahead and see what we were talking about back in those times. But to say the least, we're going to do an unpopular opinion because I was shocked that this was even something that had been done, considering Xscape does not reality, but tours and shows without Latoscha. They've done it for a long time. So we're trying to figure out what's going on here. And before we go in a little bit deeper, it was announced that Xscape and SWV, along with Maya 702, and I forgot who the other person was, is actually going to do a tour this summer, 30 city tour. We were excited, and then that also got folks talking as the Queens of R&B show coming back to Bravo. Now, we don't know if the show is coming back. I think they're only doing the tour, from my understanding. So, we're going to go ahead and report what our friends over from Straight into 8 has covered on this. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Just give me 1 second. Get rid of the ad that is blocking. Okay. So we have Total. So Total was the other special guest. So sorry about that. But I'm going to go ahead and read their opening statement. It says, Latoscha was surprised to learn that Live Nation, whom Xscape has contracted to perform on numerous occasions, contracted with individuals, and is publicly advertising the Xscape Mark to promote a live musical performance from a series of concerts during the Queens of R&B tour with Latoscha's consent. In addition, failing to obtain consent, you also have failed to even reach out to Latoscha to agree on financial terms to use of the mark, as well as to discuss her performance. So further notes that Mona Scott Young is totally in on it, being that she's all of the people, was well aware that the trademark situation, being that Latoscha had to agree to its use in the past. Monami Entertainment, who appears to be the co-promoter of the Queens of R&B tour, has specific knowledge of Latoscha's ownership and rights to the mark, because Monami Entertainment specifically obtained Latoscha's consent to use the mark for a television series produced by Monami Entertainment, which is the show I'm talking that we covered. So I'm going to read the lawyer statement. Okay, so to whom may concern, the firm represents Latoscha Scott, owner of the Xscape trademark, the mark, and member of the professional music group Xscape. As you may be aware, Latoscha has continuously performed with the group under the trademark Xscape since 1991. Latoscha was surprised to learn that the Live Nation, whom Xscape has contracted to perform on numerous occasions, contracted with individuals, and publicly advertising the Xscape mark to promote live musical performance for a series of concerts during the Queens of R&B tour. Without Latoscha's consent, I think I just read that. Sorry, guys. So Monami, who appears to be a co-promoter of the R&B tour, has specific knowledge of Latoscha's ownership and rights to the mark, but Monami Entertainment specifically obtained Latoscha's consent to use it for the television produced by Monami Entertainment. In addition, Mona Scott Young, the principal of Monami Entertainment, previously managed the music group Xscape, we can come to no other conclusions. Uh-oh, where's the ad? 'Cause I hear it in the background. Sorry. What did I just do? Get out there. Okay. We come to no other conclusion that we believe Miss Young and Monamique's conduct to be intentional and with the specific intent to interfere with the rights of Latasha. Ooh, yeah. Hey, Joseph. Hey, Naya. Sorry, I was reading. I did not see you guys' comments. Thank you for joining the party. So, Mrs. Beth, let's talk about our unpopular opinion. So, what do you think is going on here? Why would Latasha have her lawyers draw up a notification to send to and containment as well, and whatever else she forgot. Live Nation, Live Nation. So, what do you think about this?
Well, I mean, Latoscha is slow. That's why I don't even think it's her doing this. Is Rocky, which is her husband, for those who are unsure. Because did she forget that she left the group? She said that she was done with it. She didn't want to deal with it. And then after she left, the Xscape is petty. Like as a group, like Latoscha betrayed all of them and has done honestly stuff that she should be in jail for and probably isn't because it's her blood. But they are all to the certain extent somewhat petty and need to grow up. Um, Personally, I agree with Naya. That was my next point. That gospel album, she didn't even do enough to be considered for a chart that wants to be a chart. Like she did not do enough because with gospel, no matter how people feel about it, it's a genre of music surrounded around God, beliefs, and all of that. And if you look into gospel, Latasha, the way she's acted, the things she's done, hell, even the way she dressed kind of goes against that. But I think that because of the album flopping, as well as the bad press from the show, if you look, she's really not doing anything other than interviews. And she can't do a single interview without them bringing up her sister. I think it's pretty stupid. The other thing with the lawsuit, you chose to leave the group and you also got found on camera with proof on and off camera that we've seen to have stolen money. So the only reason a group doesn't want to work with Latoscha, they say, is because of Rocky. They feel like the things that he's done have caused issues where it's now impacted them, which is true. Latoscha's not going to get rid of Rocky. So it doesn't make sense to then sue people when the easy thing you could do if you and Rocky really about your money is just, okay, just do what you can, play nice, I'll step aside. But we know he's not going to do that. But I think it's a little goofy. The other thing, side piece, Latoscha and Tamika Scott own the trademark of Xscape 50/50. I believe, I know it's this way in California. My mom was actually in the industry and a singer, so I'm familiar with a lot of this. When it comes to trademarks, you just need one or the other signature depending on where you are. As long as they had a signature from an owner, then the tour can go, which they have that likely from Tamika. Um, Her lawyer is probably trying to go about it like she should get a percentage of this, but she didn't pay Tamika for her percentage of a lot, and she took from the group. So, if anything, take it as your opportunity to call it even. But if you don't want to tour with these women and you don't want to work with them, what I think is going to end up happening is they used to tour under Xscape with a 3 for the E instead, kind of like Mrs. B3ST. They did Xscape with the 3 at the end. But I believe that was when Candy didn't want to deal with the group. They need to do something like that again. Maybe just do Xscape EXCAPE, because I mean, either way, they're spelling it incorrectly. But if I was them, the way Latoscha's acting, I would change the fucking name on the tour, register it real quick before acknowledging it, because it don't take no time to trademark nothing, and say, fuck you, you're not getting $1. But that's just me.
I agree. I agree with that as well because I thought they had already did that when they were trying to make sure they caught up with their legal team to initially get her out of any legal binding with them. So for me, it was very interesting to see this, considering I thought this was already done and that they were able to go on and do other shows and other tours. like they have been doing. So that's why I was confused on why she would even do that. To me, I kind of felt like this was kind of premature. I think the lawyer did this with the intention that the show was coming back. That if the show was coming back and you're showcasing this tour, then no, you can't use the name because you got permission for the first season, not the second season. That was my thought on it. So I don't know where that stands, but I don't know. So to me, this is something we see across all kind of girl groups when certain members of the groups perform with the name and the others leave and then they want to come back out of nowhere to perform with the same name. We saw this with In Vogue. So for those of you guys who are unfamiliar, when In Vogue split up or members of the group of the original members left, which was Don Robinson and Maxine Jones, Terry Ellis and Cindy Braggs Harry also went on to do the tour using the Invoke name, and then Don and Max came out of nowhere and decided they wanted to use the name. So then there was a lawsuit, and Cindy and Terry actually won the trademark for Invoke. So in terms, we see this a lot. We do. I was shocked to know that Candy nor Tiny had any ownership of the name. I was surprised by that because I'm now wondering, did Latoscha and Tamika perform using the Xscape name when the group disbanded?
Yes, they did. Because
Oh, okay.
Tiny, um, at one point, Candy didn't want to do it, and at one point, Tiny wasn't wanting to do it either. So they have performed at one point without each other. The thing of it is, I think it's just also a waste of the court's time because of how up and down these bitches are. One minute they good, one minute they're not. But there are lots of groups where there are issues with this. I actually think they need to do something with this in the courts, like make some sort of law or clause or something for the industry that states if a group was started and they got signed, then the original members of that group should have some type of right to the trademark of the name automatically. I don't think people should even have to file because then you look at people like from Destiny's Child, Latoya and Latavia, who were a part of the group, and one of them kind of did okay, but the other one ended up in a serious drug addiction, depressed, struggled to keep up with what was what, but contributed so much. So that's just my opinion, but I really think the easiest thing for them to do, Tamika, you better look at Candy and Tiny's rich ass and say, y'all, you gonna pay for an attorney? Because I think if they pay for an attorney, they have a case. Latoscha likes to act like she is the only person who owns the trademark, and she is not. You also publicly announced that you don't want any parts of the group. You so now you want to take them to court. So I do get why you think it might be premature also of the lawyer, just because hella people thought the show was coming back.
I do. I think yeah, and that was my first thought when I first saw this morning. I think that lawyer thinks the show is coming back because if the show is coming back, then actually she is well within her right by law to serve them or
Yes, yes.
and what's probably would end up happening is that they would have to settle because she does have to give consent every time the show is pitched because she only signed for that one season according to the documents. So for me, I think that that's what this really is because there's no way if Escape has been touring without her all of last year, even after the show ended and was on tour and stuff, that this new tour would be this big of an issue. Like that's weird to me that she would just now be coming out and trying to sue for copyright infringement. Like that's crazy to me because it doesn't make sense. It
It's
doesn't.
also though, like from the side and the scope and the study of psychology, it's classic sociopath, narcissist, like everything that she's doing. She is literally look up the definition of a sociopath, y'all. She poked and she poked and she poked the bear, and then she cries and feels sorry for herself once she's been bitten. Like it doesn't make any sense the stuff that she's doing. She put herself on the outs with the group. Like Naya said, it's her pride and arrogance that put her on the outs. I forget about chunky little Latoscha. She done got a lap band surgery or something and forgot about what the fuck and where she came from because her attitude, she has so much talent, but her attitude just makes people not care about that talent.
Right. To me, it just comes across that she's angry. I think she's angry. I think that, you know, and to some, I think she's envious too of Candy and Tiny's success outside of them because it surpassed whatever Escape was going to do. It surpassed with other endeavors. So I think she really does have like an envious spirit. And I think this was one of the ways that she could take it down. Like, I think that she wanted to pull them back to reality, but what she fails to realize is that Candy and Tiny will be okay regardless because neither one of them needs this. And I think she
Yeah.
forgets that. I think she forgets that they all have success. Candy is booked on TV shows, movies. She was on Real Housewives of Atlanta, but she has a great relationship with Bravo and NBC Universal. I think Latasha forgets that. Tiny, same thing. She does not need Escape. So it would be, no, I hear echo. Sorry, hear me in the background. Echo, echo, echo. But I don't know. I just feel like this was definitely a premature move made. There is no word of whether or not the group is filming for an upcoming show for the Queens of R&B season 2. There has
They
been nothing.
declined it. Lily, from all of the members of SWV and their manager have declined and stated that there is not a show coming back. But they did explain that the promo was basically because the tour is named after the show. The show ended with these two groups not wanting to deal with each other. SWV went on press tours, on talk shows, talking about how they don't know if they would want to work with them again. The show damaged the reputation of Xscape because as much as these little ratchet heifers that exist in these new generation don't understand, when you act the way that Xscape acted with a big head, rude, in consideration for others, they don't care how much money you have. People remember how they're treated and what they had to deal with. So it
I do
Xscape,
agree with that. Yeah.
they all are so big in they have, but SWV has definitely stated multiple times, they're very clear, all of the members, that there will not be a show. But that was brilliant in marketing to use the show as a way to announce the tour. But I kind of feel like Escape wants and needs this tour just because of how they looked on the show. So change that E to a 3 or add a E to the front of Escape or something like that, but keep it moving. He said
So
this is
Joseph just said this is similar to the group Sister Sledge who sings We Are Family when the lead singer Kathy left for a solo career. When she failed, she tried to creep back in the group to fall back on.
mhm.
Yep, absolutely, she
Mhm.
did. I remember that as well. I really wish they would take their nose out of the air and perform the songs as 90s babies would enjoy. And for the most part, they do as far as that. But see, the problem is, and this is where I fault Candy for this, but then I don't. Like, because I understand from a business aspect why she wants it this way. But when you look at what the fans would want, I remember that last episode where Candy felt like Escape should close with Understanding, and Coco didn't agree. She said we should close with Weak. And I remember saying, yeah, because Weak was a way bigger song
Yeah,
than
way
Understanding,
bigger. Yeah.
way bigger. And I just felt like Candy was wrong. I felt like, take it out of the air just for one moment. They've outsold you in the records, and like their Week will always be more relevant than Understanding or any Escape song that y'all have. So I just felt like for me that was the main problem, and I understood where SWV's, especially Coco, was coming from because it was like, look, we have to go with what's the biggest song, and Week is what they close. I've been to an SWV concert. Week they do close with Week, so it was like yeah, you missed the mark on that one. I hope they don't get up on here because I am gonna go to the show. I hope that they don't do that again and close with Understanding because then I'm going to be pissed
But
and I'm
what
gonna
I
come.
will say for you wanting to go to the show, one, I agree with what you said. Candy is the reason that the group started to have problems with SWV on that show. And then Tiny just perpetuated it and made it worse. But I want to go to this show too. I love concerts. I go all the time, but I'm not buying my fucking ticket, and I wouldn't recommend anybody to buy their ticket until this is settled, because oftentimes concert tickets are not refundable just off of the simple fact that they're sold third party. If it's Live Nation, then we're likely looking at Ticketmaster. There's a bunch of companies involved. They don't always refund you your money. And that's if that happens, like if Latoscha somehow is able to succeed or get things stalled, even if it's not a matter of refunding people and they're like, oh, we changed the date, you can just come here. That's going to be an inconvenience for some of their fans. Um, so I wouldn't recommend nobody to buy fucking tickets yet because these people ain't telling us nothing. We thought we was getting the show and we got a concert. Like the communication just professionally surrounding this tour has kind of been a mess. And then you add this crap to it. So it's like, okay, was someone going to release a statement to the audience? Like, how is this going to impact the tour? Is it going to impact the tour? Like, what's good? Because I'm not buying shit until I see that somebody going to show up.
I
Because you got to
also want to look at this lineup again.
it's a lineup full of groups. So how the fuck you gonna advertise Total, but Pam says that she's not performing with Total
That's what I
anymore?
was just about to ask you.
She
I
is
was
the
just okay
voice
because
of Total.
did Pam agree? Is Pam going to be there? Because if Pam
No.
is not going to be there, I don't want to see Total. And with 702, see, y'all know 702 is only one person in my mind, and it's me.
Well, now it really is one person because Iris passed away. R.I.P. to Iris. And Mika, she, if anybody watched the it was on I think it was called Encore on BET, the little group with
Mm-hmm.
all these women in it. That other SWB sister, she can't sing. She done smoked cigarettes and drank Hennessy out and scrapped her throat. She can't sing. She was on Queens of R&B, struggling. So I don't know what 702 is gonna do. Mila can sing, but I'm like, we got
But
two
see,
half
the thing
groups.
about it is, I seen 702 with just her. They did something out here. I forgot about what it
I
was.
just saw 702 last year at my birthday. I went to the R&B festival in LA and Mila was singing, but I heard them background vocals while waiting on a drink. And this
Yeah,
was when Iris was them that was still there. I Mila need to come out and sing along. That's what I'll say.
I feel like okay, because if they're gonna do the brownstone thing where Nikki just got a whole bunch of replacements and it sounds terrible. I'm not because to me that's I understand Maxie is gone. Rest in peace to Maxie. And what's the other one's name? Shit, not Nina. Shit, what is her name? The light skinned one, the one that really had the vocals back in the day. She did like only the one tour and was done. So Nikki Gilbert literally had two other women on stage with her, and it sounds crazy. Like I'm not buying a brownstone ticket. So I'm praying that that's not the same with 702. I'm praying that it is Mila and Mika, whatever her name was, Misha, Mika, whatever her name was.
Mhm.
I'm praying that it is them two, and if they have a third person, that the third person is on point because I am scared. And like I said with Total, if Pam is not on here, I'm going to be pissed. If Keisha and what is the other girl's name? Shit, I forgot her name too.
You know
If
what I'm
Pam is,
looking at? You have a comment from Joseph about Candy. She when Candy did that, I don't think it has anything with being screwed over in the industry or her business. I think she just wanted to be a part of the they had just came back. Anybody who thinks that Week is smaller than Understanding. Understanding was cool, but I think Week as a whole is just better in the concert. But not getting to perform a song last after a group that paved the way for your group to even exist, it's like it's not ego at that point. And Candy needs to like relax. But she either way, I'm just glad Candy has learned
well,
how to do
because
those.
yeah, because I said this when we talked about the verses. I felt like SWV was not the same caliber as Escape. If anybody should have been a versus with SWV, it should have been TLC. It should have
Yeah.
been.
Yeah, I
There's no
agree.
way I'm thinking Escape is on equal footing when it comes to
And that's where
SWV.
that came from. Them verses during that time, we was bored as hell. There was nothing else to watch. But
Right.
looking back, yeah, TLC
TLC would
did
have been
the
a great because nobody can go up against In Vogue. Nobody can do it. I'm
no,
sorry. There's no
no.
other female group that I think that came in that same era that can top with In Vogue. I just don't think it's possible. So I thought TLC was a better fit.
Yeah.
So, especially because SWV was supposed to be named TLC, I thought that would have just been just a phenomenal
Correction.
thing. Yeah. So, I wish TLC was on the tour because both T-Boz and Chili could sing. You know what? They actually do pretty good. They do pretty good with each other, with it just being them two. And I think, and once again, I feel like if it was TLC on this tour, they probably would be the bigger name in headline
Yeah,
with
they would.
everybody.
Because what people
So,
don't realize is Escapes really does have a primarily like urban following, whereas TLC, like yes, both of these groups are known to be all over the world, but TLC was like really like received well in terms of girl groups and their popularity. They would be the equivalent of like Beyonce. They outdid Destiny's Child. Hey, they was doing it, and then to still continue after losing their Gemini friend is amazing. But I think TLC does well because you don't it's hard enough to be in a group, but to be in a group and then also be trying to collaborate with other groups has got to be difficult because it always complicates things when you work with people. So TLC is on the right track. They perform by themselves at award shows, and every so often they not try to perform with 10 other groups.
well, no, and Vogue does really well. They do the same in Vogue actually, because a lot of people say no, they need all four original members.
No, they
And
don't.
when I listen to In Vogue with Rhoda or Rhonda or whatever her name is, she does well. So they don't need Don. You know, I feel the way about Don Robbins. I do. I don't like her, but she was on R&B DD's LA. No, I was done with Don Robinson after that. I was like, nope, 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 nope. But no, but what I'm saying is this, like y'all, I'm gonna wait until this is over to buy my ticket to go see um SWV and Escape with all the rest of the members. But I'm gonna tell you now, I'm gonna get on this YouTube and act a fool if Pam is not there with Total because that's going to piss me off because that's not a group without Pam. Y'all can't sing like her, Keisha and Miss Lady. And the same thing with 702. Mila, I hope if you do have Misha on here, I hope she got it together, and I hope whoever is stepping in Iris's shoes can deliver as well. Yes, when it comes to the girl groups, TLC and the Spice Girls are at the top of the list.
I'm saying people just like to think sometimes music is so subjective, and I think people forget that what you may really like, or even what the city you live in may really like, may not be something that people all over the world would prefer or like. But when it comes to TLC and the Spice Girls, they both like captured the hearts and ears of people of
Mhm.
all ages, races. So that makes them special. But I'm at this point, I'm tired of Escape, y'all. I'm sick of the drama. I want them to change their name so that this wench Latoscha can stop coming after them. You want the fucking trademark so bad? Have it. We gonna go make money without you. I think they just need to cut it dry because year after year after year, it seems to be Latasha at the root of all of the drama in this group. Yes, Candy had issues with a few people in the group and whatnot. But she had her issues. She went on, lived her life without them, not bringing people to court, bringing shit up in the tabloids. The same with Tiny. Latasha's constantly having an issue with somebody or something. So if she's so difficult, then just move her out the way so y'all can move because it's getting unprofessional. And if your fans don't feel safe to buy a ticket because they don't know what the hell going on, something has to give. He said, Plam got that swag.
She do. Like when I was watching her on the BET show that Carlos did, I was because you know how I didn't forget about Pam. Let me make this clear. I did forget about Pam. I didn't forget about Total, but you really remember how much of a key point that Pam was in that group because
Mhm.
"Kissing You" is still my favorite Total song. And when you
Listen.
listen to Pam's voice in that opening verse, you're like, "Oh my God, her voice is so phenomenal." So watching that show, you remembered that. So
Yeah.
yes, if Pam is not on this tour, I'm going to be angry and I'm going to go off. No disrespect to Keisha and Kima. I do not disrespect y'all, but Pam is definitely needed. So I'm praying. I haven't looked on because me and I don't follow Pam, but I will look to see if she's on this tour.
Mm.
They need to escape the name. Exactly. Just drop the X and just be Scape. That's all you got to do. You got the hell. Just buy that trademark candy and just do it like that. And just hell and put. You know what you can do? Put Scape, but then put the three of y'all in front of the Scape, and then we will actually get it. But
Yeah.
Candy don't be doing that, and then take my idea and stuff. Don't get my money.
Oh, Joseph, I agree. That music video always creeped me out
Prove me
too.
wrong is my favorite one too, but that music video it was creepy.
It was creepy
We
and
didn't
you
know we
know
didn't
what's
know
great?
we didn't know we were looking at. We
I
were
just
like,
knew they was cool. They
yeah,
was
I
cool.
didn't really pay attention to the music video like that because I was a kid, so I didn't really pay attention to it, and I don't think I've seen it grown too much. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch it to see if I still feel the same. Maybe on my Patreon, we'll watch music videos to see how we still feel now that we're grown.
I do that all the time with some wine in my man. The I hate going outside, so you gotta find shit to do in the house.
True that, true that. But that's all I wanted to do. An unpopular opinion. Mine is, Latasha, I really think that this was premature because I felt like you thought that show was coming back, and this is why you did this because it doesn't make sense for you to do this when they've been touring with the name this entire time. It makes no
All
sense.
she doing is making it harder for her to ever be a part of this group again.
Right. So, I'll get this ducks in order. I'm not buying it until I know. So we will keep y'all posted. I don't think this will be an unpopular opinion number, whatever. I think if this does get any updates, it'll be in an update video and then I'll recap it to this. But furthermore, that's all we have for y'all from my channel today. I don't know if Mrs. Best has anything going on tonight with her channel, but I just wanted to come back and do an unpopular opinion because this shocked me. I was like, wow. Let me read Naya's comment. It's sad to see what people do when they have talent and no guidance or common sense. And you know what's funny? And I said this in the recap, so y'all go to Mrs. Best channel and we watch the recaps. But I said that's that mama. I said Latasha acts this way because of that mama. Something tells me that mama. I don't know what Latasha went through in her childhood as far as, being receptive in school and everything, but I feel like what happened is that mama said you beautiful and everybody just jealous of you and everybody is this about you because you saw she did that when it came to her
Tamika looked
academics.
like her daddy. Once I seen that in the show, I said, "Thug life, boo, thug life."
Thug
Believe
life,
it. But
yes.
listen, Tamika looked like her daddy, and ain't nothing wrong with that. But I feel like the bitterness the mama have toward the daddy is part of the reason why she treats Tamika the way that she
Oh
does.
yeah, we all got one of her in our families. We
Yeah,
do. We all
everybody.
got we everybody got one of them. Got a mama whatever Mama Scott. Everybody got one of them. They do. So yeah. Oh, and Destiny Childs too. Many thoughts they were going to fail without with Tavia and Toya, but Michelle was great. Was a great replacement, and they're still one of the best selling groups ever.
They still are.
Honestly, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I did not think they were going to fail. I was one of the only people that felt like the people who stayed in the group were I felt like the people that most people thought were the popular ones. And see, and that's what happens when your popular person stays in the group. I never think it's going to fail. Like if Mila would have continued doing 702 music without the other two, I think she would have been popular. I do. Because as I told y'all, 702, that's who 702 was to me, was Mila. When she was on R&B Divas Atlanta that one season, I was like, Forest Rocks on YouTube. I was calling her 702 as well. When mom said, who on the show? I said, well, 702 is on the show. And,
Mhm.
and like, I would call her 702. I would. So that's why I'm saying she was the popular one. She was the only one that stood out to me. So yeah, I just feel like when you stand out, I feel like it's going to be successful. I do.
Yeah.
Now it didn't. See what happened with Coco. She tried to go single, it didn't work. I feel like if the other two members left SWV and it was only Coco, SWV would
No,
still be popular.
Coco had a huge amount of success in the gospel community. They used to play
She
her at my church constantly. She
did.
had good success there solo with her solo career, but she never could do it with R&B because she did try both.
I have a couple of her songs on my playlist. I do, but I don't know if I would cap her to having SWV success. Though that's what I'm saying.
Oh no, no, no,
Uh,
not at
yeah,
all. But she
yeah,
did
that's
have
what I'm saying. I'm
success.
not saying she wasn't successful. What I'm saying is surpassing what you did, and that was a group. So I
Yeah.
don't think she ever surpassed that. Is
The
what I'm
thing
saying.
is with gospel, I don't think she ever would have.
First of all, that's a hard market
Yeah.
to. If that wasn't your entry into success, you coming in and doing it. It's very few people in this world. Um, that I feel like would have substantial success in gospel if they were to go ahead and do it from doing like any type of century music. So same thing with Nicole. I can never say that lady's last name. And let's just get off without
Scherzinger.
her. I don't know how to say that lady's last name in my words butchery. Without her, there is no group.
But
And
that's
I
a
hope that
that ended
and
because of trademark. That's why they're not
it was, yes, exactly. That was a good example, actually, Joseph, because that did end up a trademark. It was
Mhm.
Melody, wasn't it?
No, the lady who was managing them, she owned it, but it was like it ran. I guess she stole the trademark for somebody. The Pussycat Dolls is a thing in Vegas, I
It's a
guess.
Vegas, yeah, it's a Vegas thing, yeah.
Yeah, but like I guess there was a lot, but that's why they don't perform no more.
Well, yeah, but like he said, Melody, I know she had like her riff with the group because she said none of them were friends and all this. And see, and that drama there is just, I want them to do a documentary on them because you saw the shade that Nicole threw her way every time she got on that stage. So I was like, but yeah, but as I said, we gonna keep this on the update path, y'all. My update version of my lives. I appreciate everybody showing up. Joseph, thank you for joining us. Naya, thank you for being here as well. Anybody else that comes in and wants to recap or replay, please hit the like buttons. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, share it to your friends, tell them to bring their behinds up on here when we do lives. The next scheduled live we will have, I forgot, Bold and Bougie is not here anymore. So we will be back here on my channel on Tuesday unless something else comes out that I want to, touch on. I am going to keep in my open mind. But yeah, we're going to be here Tuesday for Real Housewives of Potomac. And I'll probably have another update video for y'all. And then we'll see where else happens. Oh, and also Mrs. Vessel on Tuesday will be doing Summer House Martha's Vineyard. Y'all never want to miss that because they always do some old fuck shit that I have to read them about. So yes, y'all, we'll see you guys next time. Mrs. West, thank you for being here at last minute with me. I do appreciate that. And I'll see you guys on the next recap. Bye bye.
Okay.